Robert II, and I'm so glad that you joined me here. I have something I want to let you know. You see how high gas is? You see we have a baby formula shortage. We also have food that's high. Inflation is high. What is going on? Well, things may get worse before they get better, and you need to be prepared. Go to preparewithrobert.com. Go to preparewithrobert.com. Brought to you by My Pager Supply. Get emergency food kits right there for 2,000 plus calories a day. You're going to need that. It's brought to you by My Pager Supply. Go to preparewithrobert.com. Don't be left behind. Be ready now. Let's go. Hey, everybody. Hey, everybody. Hey, everybody. Welcome, welcome, welcome. It's To Real Talk with the RNDiva. And I'm Pastor Robert, RNDiva.
Hey there.
All right, and we want to welcome you all. This is our Labor Day special. We're always going to have some fun, even though we're going to be talking about some serious subjects. But the good thing about it is, I think that this is going to be quite entertaining for you today. And I just want to welcome all of our new listeners that are listening to us on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Amazon Music Podcasts. And of course, we're so glad to have all of you here, our regular Spotify listeners. Please be sure to share this and also give us a rating and let people know about this new show in the podcast space called Real Talk with the RNDiva and Pastor Robert. So welcome, welcome, welcome to all of you. RNDiva.
Hey, y'all. Hey.
All right, we almost coordinated a little bit. Those of you not listening, she has what color is that blouse at top?
Coral.
Oh, it's coral. And I have all the colors of the rainbow, literally, and besides. Plaids.
Ain't leave nothing out.
Paisleys, COVIDs. That look like a little COVID right there.
And I was just about to say, look like a little COVID virus over there on that one shoulder.
Listen, and thank you so much for those of you watching us on ROKU, on Rumble, and YouTube, and of course, Facebook. Give us some likes, subscribes, give us some bumps, all of that, some stars, some hearts, everything you can. It's time for Real Talk with the RNDiva and Pastor Robert. Let's go to this. We just got out of a hurricane down in our area. And we're praying for those that are in the North Florida, Tallahassee, Live Oak, all that area up there in the Big Bend area.
Perry.
Where?
Perry.
Oh, yeah, Perry got hit pretty good. Perry, Florida. We're praying for them that they will quickly recover. Our president has already visited, and our governor has already sent resources there. Matter of fact, they were Johnny on the spot and ready, so we're glad about that. But now, anytime there's a storm, there's always some things that may happen after the fact. And so we want to make you aware, since we have the RNDiva here, she is our go-to health person. She doesn't give medical advice, but she knows she will give you her opinion. And she's very knowledgeable. And quite frankly, she is opinionated, aren't you? All right. No sound effects tonight, so I had to just do that one. But anyway, let's go here. We're reading this from patch.com. Health and fitness section says mosquitoes, mold, flesh-eating bacteria post Idalia risk. As floodwaters recede and cleanup continues, Florida officials warn of numerous health risks in the wake of Hurricane Idalia. And this is from the patch staff. Let's read here. As floodwaters recede and cleanup continues after Hurricane Idalia made landfall on Wednesday last week as a Category 3 storm, Floridians face new but familiar risks like flesh-eating bacteria, mosquitoes, and carbon monoxide poisoning, health officials say. At a news conference reported by the Tampa Bay Times, State Surgeon General Joseph Lapipo urged Floridians to take precautions after the storm to safeguard their health and the well-being of others. All right, we've got some symptoms here that we can't pronounce. I'm going to turn this over to the diva and help us, because that's scary. Mosquitoes and a flesh-eating bacteria. What's up with that?
Well, it's a bacteria. And when you get a storm to come through here like it did, it's going to stir up all kinds of microorganisms, and it's going to get mixed into lakes and ponds and things of that nature. And when you have that and that water is rising, and people are going to walk through it because they think it's fun. It's like when we were a kid, they want to play in a puddle. Well, this is not your average puddle, folks. This is not your average puddle. So I'm gonna need you to bypass that and have several seats, because basically there is a bacteria within that water. You can't see it with the naked eye. So you might, oh, this water is just muddy. No, steer clear. So with that bacteria being in there, it gets into your skin, underneath your skin, a break in the skin.
Oh, wow.
And you start to get this swelling and redness. And this is it literally is like your skin is like blowing up and you're running out of room. You know what I'm saying? Wow. It's like your skin is still there, but it's still blowing up, and your skin is still, it's getting taut, it's getting tight. And so it's sore as heck. It's painful. So a lot of people rush on into the emergency room and they find out that they have flesh-eating disease, but the scientific name is called necrotizing fasciitis.
Say that one more time now.
Necrotizing fasciitis.
Okay.
Is the medical term for it. And basically what it is it depends on how bad it is. Sometimes it could be minor and be treated with antibiotics, and we send you on your way. Or it could be bad enough that you have to go to the OR and be debrided. Like they put you under anesthesia, they break out the old scalpels, and they just start cutting away the areas that are worst infected, that are the worst infected. There are people that have lost limbs behind this flesh-eating disease. Those are the ones that don't come in right away. So they will wait and wait and wait, and then they come in when it's too late. So those people, like people that are diabetic or people that are obese, that have rolls and folds, they don't realize that they have a situation going on in those folds until it's too late, until it's eaten through, or you start to smell something. Yeah, it's a smell like you wouldn't believe. But then once you realize, oh, something's there, it's too late. You got to come to the emergency room, get admitted. You're gonna start to huh?
You have to be admitted, huh?
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. If it's bad enough to where it's beyond just antibiotics, because sometimes it's just antibiotics will send you home.
Wow.
Follow up with your primary doctor. But if it's more than that, like your people with your diabetes, the people that don't heal very easily,
right?
Those are the people, if they get infected, then they have to be treated a lot more aggressively. So that's what necrotizing fasciitis, or the flesh-eating disease, is. Yep.
Now, how common is that? You work in the field, the medical field. Have you seen it uptick yet in this area, or how long does it take before since the hurricane came? Was just gone not quite a week ago, but if people were to get that,
it'll start to pop up now. It'll start to pop up now. A lot of it happens when you got people out moving debris, and they get a break in the skin, an abrasion or a cut, and it takes a little while before it gets to the feverish stage to where it's red and swollen. There's pus. Sometimes there's drainage, not just purulence, which is pus. That's a bad word. So it may take a little while after people are in it starting to clean up and they get cut or something, or they already have a cut and they're getting exposed to it by cleaning up, and it gets in that, you never know. You never know you have a cut sometimes and until it's infected. So I not so much as seen it yet. But like that. How about yet? We'll go with yet.
Okay. Now, also we see with the flesh-eating bacteria, we also see that this is also a great opportunity for mosquitoes. Oh, Lord have mercy. Standing water provides a perfect, optimal breeding ground for mosquitoes, says Yuli Klo, director of Florida Department of Health in Pinellas County, according to the Tampa Bay Times. Before Idalia, several Florida counties dealt with an uptick in mosquito-borne illnesses such as malaria and that other one. What's it called? What's it called?
What are you talking about?
Dengue.
Oh, dengue. Or
dengue.
Dengue or dengue. Mm-hmm.
Dengue, okay. So far, there have been 11 locally acquired cases of dengue have been reported, 9 in Miami-Dade, 2 in Broward County. 7 local acquired malaria cases were reported in Sarasota County earlier this summer. The health officials say to take precautions to protect themselves from mosquito-borne illnesses. Start by wearing long-sleeve shirts and pants, applying bug spray, and avoiding areas with high mosquito populations, especially during sunrise and sunset when mosquitoes are active. Now, you know that our favorite unscientist, Bill Gates, you know, he earlier this summer, he released millions of genetically modified mosquitoes in the Key West area to help fight malaria. Now, however, there's not been cases of malaria in over 20 years, but now we're starting to see cases of malaria. Coincidence? Don't know. Genetically modified mosquitoes. Yeah. Put your comments down below.
Somebody comment. Down
below because
you know what? People get away. People that have money, they get away with stuff that me and you and old regular Joe Schmo wouldn't get away with. You know what I'm saying? Like, here you are releasing mosquitoes. I'm knocking stuff over. You're releasing mosquitoes and you don't even go outside, so you're not going to be affected. You go from your house into your limo. So you got people out here in these streets that's doing the extra and the most. I don't understand why this man is even, he need a hobby. That's what it is. He's bored.
Apparently, he is bored. He's bored and he has a lot of his hobby.
And he got a lot of money.
He got a lot of money. And you know what? He's bored, but he also, I think this is his hobby because, you know, he has invested in the vaccine companies, helped developing the vaccines. And now here it is. Did you see that story earlier this year where he wanted to do something where they would block out the sun to keep it, make it not be so hot? He wanted to do that, but he wanted to do it in Sweden. But the government in Sweden told him no. He wanted to try that.
The government in Sweden said, take your ass back over there to the United States of America, sir. We don't need you over here disrupting our sunlight. Yeah. You are not Jesus, nor are you God. I don't care how much money you got.
Yeah,
nobody is sitting at your right hand, sir.
No, not. But I believe he has a God complex because what we're going to do, Diva, on one of our special for our listeners and partners on our locals, the RCTV Network.locals.com, where you can subscribe. We won't be here on this platform. We're going to do a deep dive into Mr. Bill Gates because he's not a doctor at all. He helped start Microsoft, and if you know anything about all the viruses you used to get on your computer, that's he helped start that. So there's a lot going on, and we can't talk about it here on the tube because they'll strike me. But we're going to do this real soon off on our paid subscription site, or the RCTV Network.locals.com. You can subscribe for monthly, and we're going to do that so we can talk freely and don't have to censor ourselves. But I tell you what, I think that there's a connection there with the mosquitoes and malaria and the genetically modified mosquitoes that released in Key West this summer. So, in other words, folks, be careful. Follow what they say. What do we say? Follow the science. Follow the science.
Because the science is sciencing.
The science is sciencing. And be careful out there, because there's all kind of stuff. If it's not the flesh-eating bacteria, you got the mosquitoes and malaria, and then we got COVID coming back. Let's do that. That's the perfect segue into COVID. COVID, I don't know if they call it COVID-19, COVID-23, whatever it is. But listen, at our last podcast, if you want to go back and listen to it on Apple, Google, Amazon, or Spotify, you can do that. We talked about masks and mask efficacy. And now we're going to hear from the former chairman or president or CEO of the National Institute of Health, Dr. Anthony Fauci. He was on a weekend show this week, actually on CNN, and they were asking about the mask. And I want you all to see this because we got into a very heated discussion on our last podcast about the efficacy of masks. And the diva has one opinion. I'm kind of straddling the fence, yes and no. And we know a lot of people that don't want to wear masks at all, and we also know a lot of people who swear by the mask. But let's go to the man who started it all with the mask, Fauci. This is from the New York Post, written by Mary Kay Lynch. Fauci admits to lack of COVID mask evidence, but wants us to wear them anyway. Dr. Anthony Fauci flip-flopped once again on masking as a means to tamp down COVID-19, as he admitted that a wide-ranging study that face masks made no difference in the course of the pandemic. Fauci said, "I'm concerned that people will not abide by recommendations," he told CNN's Michael Smirnoff Saturday in a segment flagging a rise in COVID cases nationwide. Federal agencies and state and local governments decreed onerous mask mandates for planes, schools, public transit, restaurants, workplaces, and more starting in 2020, thanks largely to Fauci, the public face of the nation's official COVID response. As the White House chief medical advisor, Fauci gave conflicting advice on the efficacy of masking. First saying it was unnecessary for the general public, then that universal wearing of masks is the most practical way to go. As recently as this May, the former director of the National Institute of Allergy and Infectious Diseases said that unvaccinated children still should mask up when playing with friends. But in February, a major study from the Cochrane Library found that wearing them was pointless. There's still no evidence that masks are effective during a pandemic, Tom Jefferson said, the study's lead author. Oh, the diva's ready to jump in there. There is just no evidence that they make any difference, full stop. Confronted with Jefferson's quote on CNN, Fauci backtracked. Well, when you're talking about the effect on the pandemic or the pandemic as a whole, the data are less strong, he admitted. But there are other studies, Michael, that show at an individual level, for individuals, they might be protective. Mask and vaccine mandates have become a hot button issue in the Republican presidential primary, which I don't know what that has to do with the Fauci in China, but nonetheless, Diva, go ahead.
You know what I think?
What do you think?
I love Dr. Fauci. But you know what I think? You know that kid in school, the little kid, the little nerd kid with the eyeglasses and all the books that the bully put in the locker and close the locker and lock his ass up in there? That's who Dr. Fauci is. Dr. Fauci wants to stand by the sciencing because he knows that the science is sciencing. But he is being bullied by somebody. Somebody has put Dr. Fauci in a locker. Do you hear me? So basically what it is, first of all, you cannot tell me, I don't give a dog how you, I don't give a good doggone how you slice it. You cannot tell me that putting on a mask does not help at all. Make it make sense. Make it make sense.
Because
if you're saying, okay, it didn't make the pandemic go away. No, it didn't make coronavirus or COVID-19 go away. But nothing will unless we all come together and do our part. If you don't want to wear a mask, social distance. If you don't want to social distance, stay home. And if you don't want to stay home,
get somewhere.
Get somewhere. You feel me? But if you don't have a solution, shut the STFU. Just STFU. Because if you don't have a solution, then you're not helping the problem.
Right.
Help those that are trying to help you. Now, if you're constantly, and there's people that are constantly getting COVID, constantly. You know why?
Right.
Because they're getting the different variants. You know why? It's because people won't wear a mask. You know why? It's because people won't social distance. You know why? It's because people go to crowded rooms and crowded places, and they don't want to be told what to do. But you want me to help you breathe. What did I say last week? If you don't want nobody to tell you what to do, fine. Let me tell you one more thing before you put that in stone. Don't come to the hospital either. Don't come over there talking about you can't breathe. Don't do it. Don't do it. Because you're setting yourself up for failure. Right. And basically, what's wrong with you? If it's no such thing as COVID, what's wrong with you?
Well, I haven't heard anybody say there's no such thing as COVID.
Yeah.
Well, okay. I have. But, okay. But we're talking about the efficacy of the mask.
No. Have you or haven't you?
I've seen it on the internet. I haven't heard anybody personally that said COVID isn't real, but I've seen it on X, formerly known as Twitter. Okay, I will say that. But we're talking about the mask right now. Fauci flip-flopped again, and because of some studies that were saying, now some people say that wearing the mask will cause, because you're breathing in your own air breath.
Oh, so my Lord.
Carbon
dioxide.
Dioxide, thank you. And then they say some people
hasn't killed me yet. There's nobody that's ever come into the hospital that ever taken care of, has ever had a problem with wearing a mask and having the CO2 come back in there. Listen, the mask is not 100%.
Right.
Okay. So you are expelling some CO2. And unless you have a compromised respiratory system or an immune system, your CO2 levels aren't going to be that high that quick. And if you are standing in a whole bunch of people, you need to go over there, take it off and breathe, and come on back over. And you need to switch out your mask. One mask is not going to last you all day long. I hope y'all believe that and know that.
Oh, now that's good. That's good, because see, even with the kids' immune systems are already much stronger anyway. And so, but kids, as soon as they put it on, they're going to, and so they're contaminating the mask by keeping it on all day. So I don't know if that's working, but definitely with adults, I've seen a lot of people, they put the mask on and they leave it on for hours at a time, but they're touching it and they got it down like this. So then that's where it can become ineffective, because they've contaminated the mask, right?
Absolutely. But once I'll roll it back to say again, something is better than nothing.
Okay.
So if you're going to have a mask on, it's going to protect you from spittle. It's going to protect it from carrying in the air. It's airborne. It's not getting into your mucous membranes. And if you have contaminated it, and it's on your face. That's just you should have been a little bit more diligent. Now with kids, you're gonna have that, but thank God they have a better immune system than adults.
Right.
You feel me? So nothing is 100%, because even as healthcare professionals, we're not donning masks sterilely. We're not donning it sterilely. Even our personal protective equipment, we're not putting it donning. We're not putting it on sterilely. We're not doing a sterile technique when we're putting our mask on. We're not doing it when we're putting these gowns on. So even with that being said, it still is a barrier.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
They tell us, don't go walking up and down the halls with your personal protective equipment. And when you come out of the room, you take it off and you ball it up. And usually what it is, especially if they're in the negative pressure rooms, you'll get rid of all that stuff before you walk out into the hall.
Right.
So it's not a matter of doing it sterilely. There's going to be some contamination because we're not in a sterile environment.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
But to put it down to a minimum, change your mask. That's why they tell you go stock up on masks. You got to be able to, if you're going out, at least have 3 masks on you.
On at the same time, or just on?
No, on you, on your person.
Okay.
So you can switch it out. But nothing is 100%, but something is better than nothing.
Mm-hmm. You're right. You're right. Now tell me this. We're each week on our podcast, we're going to be keeping you informed. Our RNDiva is going to keep you informed as far as what is going on as more information comes available to us. I have been told that there will be another vaccine, a booster. I don't know if it's going to be a booster or a shot, whatever it is, but another vaccine will be rolled out on the 15th of September. So those who are immunocompromised or elderly or fearful or careful, after September 15th, around about that time, you'll be able to contact your medical provider and get another shot to wear that off. Those of you in the comments, and those of you listen, put your comments down below and answer this question. Do you believe in the efficacy of masks against the coronavirus? Do you believe in using the mask? Put your comments down below. Those of you who listen to us on Apple, Google, Amazon, and Spotify, you can email us or you can put it in the comments when you rate the show. We look at the comments and we do check those. I'm interested to see, because Florida is one of those states that we talked about in our last podcast who has a law now that says there cannot be any mask mandates. So we're going to see how that dog goes to barking as we move into the fall and as we move into the season. 'Tis the season where there's going to be a lot of sniffing and coughing and pneumonia and colds, flus, and corona. So, go ahead. Put your comments down below. Go ahead.
Okay, so when it comes out to mandate, remember last week we were talking about whether it should be mandatory or not, and then they were out there picketing because they wanted it to not be sold or sent out so nobody could actually get it, right?
Yeah, right.
So
that hasn't been passed yet. They were lobbying for that, but he hasn't signed anything on that.
So I don't want to be told what to do either.
Right.
But I do know science only because of what I do for a living. That's 1. 2, I don't want it to be mandated. I don't want it to be mandated. I don't want it to be taken away. So I don't have a choice. I think it needs to be left as is. If they want to put up an order that it can't be mandated, fine. But I still hang my hat on the fact that I would say, in order to walk into my business, this is what I require. And I should be given the right to do that. All that other stuff, all that hooting and hollering, I don't want to hear nothing about it, because what's going to happen is going to be, there were so many people dropping dead in that pandemic. that you mean to tell me you don't have a problem with it jumping back out there again? Like folks are like, oh, y'all not gonna never about this dude that was saying, oh yeah, I'm telling you, I'm gonna whoop you, bruh. You ain't, the way you, because you looking real ashy. Don't even look like you got hands like that. So you looking real ashy. First of all, start with some Jergens.
Some cocoa butter.
Start with some Jergens, cocoa butter, something. Base first, base. Go ahead and base. So if you are going to sit up and say what you not going to do, what about all those people that lost family members that were being thrown into cooler trucks up in New York? They were backing up semi-truck trailers that were refrigerated because they ran out of space in the morgue.
Yeah.
They're trying to get you guys to the point where we don't do that again.
Right.
Our morgues were full here in Florida. What about when the nurses were the best thing since sliced bread and y'all was I ain't saying y'all meaning you. I'm talking about you folks is out there that were going up and waving at the nurses in the window like we were Prince. You know what I'm saying? Like we're a celebrity. That's Whitney Houston, a Prince, or somebody, Michael Jackson. But we were healthcare providers, and y'all were like, ooh, and hi. Now you want us to work long, wrong, because you don't want to believe that it exists, and two, you don't want to do what is recommended. Come on, make up your mind. So now the nurses don't mean jack shit. Excuse me. You know what I'm saying? So make up your mind. You flitting about. You all over the place, sirs and ma'ams. You all over the place. You don't even know what you believe no more. All you doing is talking out your...
Yeah. Well, put your comments down below and tell us what you think about this. The masks are... the coronavirus never left, but the masks are coming back, and they're coming back in a big way. Well, put your comments down below. We love to know what you think about wearing the mask. And we'll read your comments and we will respond. And now, let's go to our first sponsor here, RNDiva. Tell us about our sponsor. One of our sponsors here tonight.
Our first sponsor up on the docket tonight is My Patriot Supply. I have said it time and time again, folks. If you're not ready, then you need to get ready. And I can tell you how to get ready. That is going online and pulling up My Patriot Supply. This is a company that provides meals that are packaged. They are sustainably packaged. They have lost, up to 25 years they last. Up to 25 years, folks. This is big. Okay, and everything that they have, you need to go on there. There's soups, there's dips, there's beef stroganoff, there's chicken a la king. There's all types of different meals ready to eat. There's other things too as well. Like there's different types of sustainably packaged, individually packaged meals that you could get. And you can go onto a nice little program. If you don't know what you'd like, get a little bit of something of everything and try it out. And then just put it and stash it away. It'll be stocked away. So if anything were to ever happen, if there's a natural disaster, what if there's another hurricane to come through Florida and you're not ready? Your power goes out. You don't have a generator. You're driving an EV and your car is not able to get charged. What are you going to do? You get ready. If you have meals ready to eat, if you have stuff that is already packaged and put away, that can be put away for a long time, then you are ahead of the 8 ball. No more wondering if you should get potted meat. Don't know if that stuff's any good. Don't know if you're going to get a ham sandwich. Well, that ham's not going to be any good if the power goes out. So think about this stuff before a disaster happens. It doesn't have to be a disaster. If you want to go camping, take these items with you. There is a large variety and they taste really good. So if you're interested in getting any of these items, any of these packages, any of these kits, feel free to use our link, squaredaway.life, and it will give you a discount, and it will be contributed. Some of it will be contributed back to our podcast. So we encourage that. Once again, that's My Patriot Supply, and that's to get you ready just in case.
Sounds like a plan to me. Squaredaway.life. And we thank you for being one of our sponsors here. Now, Shonda, Diva, we have a story here. I don't know if you've heard about this. Hopefully this will get worked out. There's a young lady named Taniya Young in the Cleveland, Ohio area. And she is a horrible story, tragic story. And we need to talk through this. I'm not going to play the video because it is graphic, but
triggering.
But let me read the story. This is out of Columbus, Ohio. This is from Fox 11 News, WSYX. And let me pull that up for you so you can all read along with us here. Very sad story. Here it is. Taniya Young will be laid to rest this week. The 21-year-old woman was shot dead by a Linden Township police officer outside a Kroger store in Ohio on August 24th. Taniya Young and her unborn baby later died. Her obituary said she enjoyed working in customer service at Cedar Point, and she left behind 2 sons. Okay, and that funeral is going to be this week at the Marlon Gary Funeral Home, Chapel of Peace on Cleveland Avenue in Cleveland, Ohio. Now, here's what happened. Now, already protesters started to gather and protest peacefully at the Goodale Park, reading out names of community members that also died of deadly encounters with police. Now, let me explain to you what happened, just in case you're not familiar with this. Let me go over here because they did release the body cam footage, and there it is. You can kind of see it playing there on your screen. Well, I'm not going to play the sound, and they do cut it off here, so you can kind of watch this. She was leaving the store. She was accused of, suspected of shoplifting from the store, from the Kroger's. So there you will see the police there. There was one on the side of her. She would not get out of the car. And she was arguing with the police, and you're going to shoot me, you're going to shoot me. And at some point, as we're watching here, they said, get out of the car, get out of the car. They're still telling her to get out of the car. And she didn't get out of the car. And so we saw the one officer was in front of the car, the one was on the side. He had his gun drawn, and she took off. She ran over, or something like that, ran over the officer. And I'm thinking when she ran him over, or simultaneously, however it happened, he shot into the car, and it killed her, and it also killed her unborn child. So, yeah, let's see what the Ohio police, what they're saying. Because this 21-year-old Taniya Young, she was pregnant and she lost the child. Sad story there. Very sad story. Diva, go ahead. I'm going to pull up another article here, but go ahead and give us your commentary on this while I do that.
Did it say that she was stealing liquor?
Liquor was one of the things, right?
Brother. My condolences goes out to the family, first of all. And God don't like ugly. And he ain't too particular about pretty. But they say you're not supposed to shoot for property. Now, if it's to defend a life, I think maybe that's what they're gonna go with, because she ran. Did she hit the officer?
Yeah.
Yeah, they're gonna go with what's the charge when you use your car? It's gonna be justified shooting.
Usually a deadly weapon. A vehicle is a deadly weapon.
Yeah. That's because she was trying to kill him first. Because if he wanted to kill her, he could have shot her beforehand. You know what I'm saying? Before she pulled off. And when she did what she did, she hit him. That was her mistake. That was her mistake. And I understand that, you know, because there is no rhyme or reason, and there's no law, and there's no guarantee us Black women and Black men are not going to be killed. Because if she was asked, are you going to kill me? Are you going to kill me? There's no guarantee that they're not going to kill you if you get out of that car. You know, I'm not going to do anything to you. Just step out of the car. There's no guarantee that they won't kill you, because they're so trigger happy, but not even trigger happy. They're so scared that they forget their training and they just pull the trigger. You know how many of them say, oh, it just went off? No, there's a lot more that needs to happen before you discharge that weapon. I don't know if you missed that block in class. Maybe you were sick that day. But I think because she drove off and hit that other. Had she drove off, he shouldn't have fired after her. But since she hit him, that's what they're going to say.
Well, let's take a look at this. Let's read another article here. This is by the Morning Call paper. It says here, let me pull it up here. Make sure we have it here on the screen so you can read along with us. This is deep. This is deep, and this is unfortunately made. You know, Columbus, Ohio authorities on Friday released body cam video showing a police officer fatally shooting Taniya Young in her car in what her family denounced as a gross misuse of power and authority against the pregnant Black mother. Sean Walton, an attorney representing Young's family, said the video clearly shows that the August 24th shooting of the 21-year-old woman was unjustified, and he called for the officer to be fired and charged immediately. The attorney also criticized police for not releasing the footage, body cam footage, for more than a week after the shooting. Takiya's family is heartbroken, Walton said in an interview with the Associated Press. The video did nothing but confirm their fears that Taniya was murdered unjustifiably, and it was just heartbreaking for them to see Taniya having her life taken away under such ridiculous circumstances. The officer that shot Young is on paid administrative leave, while the Ohio Bureau of Criminal Investigation examines the shooting, which is standard practice. A police union official says calls to charge the officer before an investigation is complete are premature. A second officer who was on the scene has returned to active duty. Their names, races, and ranks have not been released. The police chief, John Belford, did call the shooting a tragedy. He said that Ms. Young's family is understandably very upset and grieving. He said in a written statement, while none of us can fully understand the depths of their pain, all of us can remember them in our prayers and give them the time and space to deal with this heartbreaking turn of events. Young's father, grandmother, and other relatives watched the video before its public release and released a statement Friday through their attorney. It's undeniable that Takiya's death was not only avoidable, but also a gross misuse of power and authority. While viewing the video, the family felt a lot of anger, a lot of frustration. More than anything, there was a sense of just devastation to know that this power system, these police officers, could stop her and so quickly take her life for no justifiable reason. Let's get into the meat of the story of what happened. This video shows an officer at the driver's side window telling Young she has been accused of theft and repeatedly demanding that she get out of the car. A second officer is standing in front of the car. Young protests, and the first officer repeats his demand. Then both officers yell at her to get out. At that point, Young can be heard asking them, "Are you going to shoot me?" Seconds before she turns the steering wheel to the right and the car moves towards the officer standing in front of it. The officer fires his gun through the windshield and Young's sedan drifts into the grocery store's brick wall. Officers then break the driver's side window, which Belford said was to get Young out of the car and render medical aid, though footage of medical assistance was not provided. In the interview with the AP on Friday, Walton, the attorney, denied that Young had stolen anything from the grocery store. He said his firm found a witness who saw Young put down bottles of alcohol as she left the store. The bottles were left in the store. So when she's in her car denying that, that's accurate. She did not commit any theft. And so these officers were not even within their right to place her under arrest, let alone take her life.
Uh-oh. There's the caveat right there. That's it. That's it. Now she shoplifted, but the bottles are in the store. Yeah, they need to get some charges thrown on their butts because you so hot and ready. You hot and ready like a Little Caesar's pizza. You hot and ready to pull over a black female because of something they said in the store that wasn't accurate. Because not once, I'm sure, did they say, "Are you sure? Do you have it on tape?" Yeah, they're gonna have to answer on that one. That's unfortunate. That's unfortunate because now that you've told me that the bottles were left inside the store.
We have an issue. Yeah, we have an issue there because watch this. You're innocent until you're proven guilty.
Absolutely.
So if someone called and said, "Hey, we have a 21-year-old young black lady that stole some liquor out of the store, and she looks like she's going to whatever the car is she was driving," and the police come, there had to be some dialogue between the store manager, her, and because you understand what I'm saying? Because if she walked out the store, did they try to stop her? I'm talking about
right, and why wouldn't they?
The store clerks or whoever.
And even this, how about this? Okay, she's walking out. Well, one of you go get her tag number, and I'm gonna verify it on tape.
Right. So that's the thing. If the store didn't do their due diligence, because here's where I'm going with this. Because now, if they called the police, okay, it's going to take the police at least a couple minutes to get there.
Right.
Okay, and they probably weren't speedy because it was like, okay, petty shoplifting, petty theft.
Right.
It's not like shop. So there had to been enough time that she was still there in the parking lot by the time they got there. So
right.
Was an altercation or something between when she was leaving the store and got into it with the managers, and they said she did, and she said she did. They got an argument, and by that time the police are coming. Then she gets in the car because I can't see how she would be accused of stealing. Nobody says anything to her. Then she takes her time, walks to the car, sits in the car for 5 minutes. Then the police come. So
but don't forget, she left the stuff in there.
That's what they say. Now,
they should have verified that. That right there is going to be a caveat.
Did they say it was in the car? Did they say they found anything in the car?
No.
Yeah, I didn't see. I don't think I saw that. I don't think I read that. So if they did, but see again, but here, let's go on the other side. Let's not throw the police completely under the bus. They probably didn't know, so they were telling her get out the car so they could ask her questions and see what's in the car.
Right.
Blah blah blah. Make sure she didn't have a weapon. You know that type of. Could you get out the car? Okay. Do you have any weapons? That type thing. But it looks like she was already maybe high strung because she was upset. So by the time what we're seeing on the video, by the time the police got there, she's like, "What? I didn't do that. I didn't do what. You gonna shoot me if I don't get out the car?" So she was clearly already. So there must be an altercation where she was accused of something in the store or leaving the store, and that's why when the police came, she just did not adhere quickly to what they were saying.
Well, first of all, she was scared. Because as much mouth as I have, if when a cop pulls up behind me, my heart starts to race. You know what I'm saying? So and knowing the climate that we're in now, I used to say, oh man, men have it bad. Black men have it bad because they are getting shot left and right. But now black women are getting shot just because. Mm-hmm. And here she is, and she was about to deliver in November. So she must be kind of showing. You know what I'm saying? At least step out the car. Let me make sure that ain't nothing up under there. Let me pat you down. Let's wait. Let's get a female officer here to pat you down. But they didn't go through all that. Ma'am, get out of the car. You're not giving me any reading. You know this girl is scared. You know she's scared. Because she's seen a lot of TV. She's seen a lot of it happening on TV. Look at the man with his knee on George Floyd. We watched that whole thing unfold. Terrified. We are terrified out here in these streets. And if we were to take it into our own hand, our own vigilantism, then we're wrong. Trying to protect our own hides. So I can understand where she's coming from. I really cannot see anything out of Kroger's being enough to shoot a young lady over. Black, white, purple, or whatever. I just cannot see.
Right.
Ain't nothing. I don't care if you get 15 racks of lamb. You still get you a couple bottles of Boone's Farm on the way out. You still ain't rack up enough for it to be that important. Oh, well, she hit him. What injuries did he sustain? What did it say? Any?
No.
Did she brush past him? Where did he shoot? What was the trajectory? If it was after she...
Yeah, he was standing right there to the side in the front. But they said that when she went to leave, she had to turn her wheel. So that's when she...
So he got the back of her.
No. She hit looked like she hit like the front of him or something, you know. It doesn't look like he was run over like his whole body. She did strike him with the car, but that could be just because it looks like what happened was as she was hitting him in the car, trying to get away, he instinctively shot right through the window. Because remember, the other cop was on the side. Okay? So the other cop was on the side, and woo, I don't know. I'm gonna play while we're talking. I'm gonna play this again. This video without the sound, but that's just some of the people.
Don't play it.
Yeah, I'm not gonna play it, but that's people that you see some of them there. But you see here the car on the side. This is the body cam right there. They're not gonna show the whole thing.
Is she in the black car?
Yeah, that car right there. Yeah, right. See, right there. So he got all the way in front of the car, which she wouldn't get out. And you see, it looks like he put his hand on the hood.
Mm-hmm.
And and so then that's when, see, he's still talking to her. And she kept saying, "I didn't steal. Are you gonna shoot me? Are you gonna shoot me?" And you see there's a blue car behind her. Looked like maybe that was the undercover, a UC that came to block her in. So she couldn't get out. See that car right there?
Right.
She couldn't get out. I mean, as far as backing out. So boom, right there. That's where it stopped. Yeah. So he point blank range. He was pointing the gun at her. Now maybe he didn't think she was gonna.
I think it startled him. I think it startled him.
Yeah.
I'm trying to see where the gunshot is. It through the windshield?
Yeah.
I think it startled him.
Yeah.
Listen, you got to have the mentality of Cool Hand Luke. You got to be able to keep your calm and not be you're carrying a gun. So you need to be able to navigate through tense situations. You can't have a hairpin trigger. You can't be, a knee-jerk reaction. There's no place for that in law enforcement. There's no place for that. If that's the case, you need to go do something else.
Yeah.
Huh?
Yeah, but those of you listen to the podcast, we're playing the video on the B-roll here, and you see that he was standing directly in front of him and even put his hand on the hood as if his hand could really stop the car, but it was a gesture to try to keep her from going forward, and the other officers on the side at her window saying, "Get out, get out, get out." And they had her blocked in. I see that blue car. So the other officer must have been undercover that came through. So I fault the cops in this regard because he could have, if he needed to fire a shot or fire, he could have disabled her from leaving by shooting the tire.
Could have done that.
Yeah. It doesn't say she had any weapons. It didn't say she pulled the weapon. Now I can see if she pulled the weapon, then you got the back and forth. But they didn't find a weapon at the crime scene. I mean, they didn't find a weapon. She didn't have a weapon.
Or if that's the case, then let her go. But she's got a tag. And these are the type of things that you are taught. These are thoughts that need to be going through your head. But you got to be thinking at a moment's notice. But you are trained to do that, or so you say. Right? Your training is different than me or you. But here I am thinking of something, and here you are thinking, but then again, we're Monday morning quarterbacking too.
Yeah, I
it's after the fact, and we're out of the fray, so we're not, in the middle of it, and everything's heated. But they could have taken her. Dude that was standing up next to her door could have walked behind her, took her tag down, told her to get out of the car, and when she pulled off, they could have followed her right to the house. Take it to the house, like Trina saying. I mean, Trick Daddy.
Here's the thing about it. I could understand when I was watching some other videos today, getting prepared for tonight for the podcast, and I would talk. You could understand. Okay, George Zimmerman, remember him, Trayvon Martin. Somehow they got into a fight. He felt threatened, even though he wasn't a cop. He was play cop, but wannabe cop. And so you felt threatened. Okay, this black guy, we're getting him with tussle and I shoot him. Okay, Michael Brown, he was tussling with the cops. Okay, blah 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 blah. George Floyd, he was high on fentanyl and everything else, and they were holding him down. Okay, they didn't shoot him, but they choked him. So you say, okay, maybe you felt like threatened, but this girl clearly 21 years old and pregnant, already in her car, no weapon, clearly. She wasn't bothered. She wasn't gonna bother you. You know what I'm saying? Clearly, he should not have been afraid. So, because think about it, he ran. They didn't say he was in the hospital, did they?
No.
They wouldn't believe. So the one officer on the
side, they would have said officer was injured
in a local hospital. So he couldn't have really. I've been hit by a car before, going like half a mile an hour, and somebody backing up. But not so so I blame the cops on that. Now, but let me say I blame the cops for he thought his life was in danger because they're going to use the car as a deadly weapon. Here's the thing, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, before we end this story and go to our next sponsor, listen to me closely. Listen, Linda, listen.
Listen, Leonards, listen.
Please, I know that you're scared and you're nervous. We all do it. Okay? Black, white, Hispanic, whatever the case. But listen, when they tell you to get out the car, if you know you aren't doing anything wrong, just politely and slowly and cautiously, since some of them may have a trigger finger, get out the car. If you have a weapon in the car, concealed carry, let them know immediately. Be slow with your movement. Show your hands. Tell them my gun is in the glove compartment or it's under the seat. When would you like me to reach for it? Don't throw yourself at the mercy of the police. Then if they ask you to get out, get out. Okay? Because clearly, if she had stolen the liquor, it wasn't going to be that much. What, $25, $30? I mean,
that's a misdemeanor.
Right. Petty theft.
So you just killed her over a misdemeanor?
Petty theft, yeah. So please, ladies and gentlemen, those who listen to us on our podcast and watch us, please just do what they say. Hey, don't worry about your pride. Don't worry about your partners.
Forget about your pride.
Pride.
Listen,
Man,
These folks don't care nothing about your pride. Nothing,
does
Linda.
something wrong, if they're incorrect, if they don't follow procedure and all like that, then you have your day in court and you want to say, okay, but when they're in that place, they are in authority, and unfortunately, you're at their whim. And you have to use wisdom. Don't get so hot-headed and so prideful that you say, "Oh," and please don't make yourself a martyr. Yeah,
right.
I saw a video on X.com a couple weeks ago. One guy, black guy, there was a riot out there or something. He walked up, shoot me, shoot me, shoot me. He walked up to the guy, shoot me, and so and they shot him. They didn't kill him. They just shot him like in his foot or something like that because he kept walking towards them, threatening them. And I think they pepper sprayed whatever they did, but he was down on the ground.
They could have pepper sprayed her.
Yeah. He didn't die. He didn't. But again, he effed around and found out. So you can't. Right. So he was thinking, oh, they ain't gonna do that. They ain't gonna do that. Yes, they did. So
and did.
So please, dear hearts, hear me. Do what they say. We've all been there. I've been stopped. I've had my car searched before and all that kind of stuff. I mean, one time I was leaving church and on 275, and they stopped me. And the bad part about it, I was in a van.
Not a van.
Honey, a van. And they tore that thing. I mean, on the side of 275, they tore it. And I was just like, because I knew what that did there. And it was nighttime, and then they said, okay, you can go now.
And you got to put all that stuff back in now.
But here's the thing about it. I knew nothing was wrong. I mean, I was scared in the sense like, okay, now what? Yeah. But at the same time, I kept my cool. I said, and I told you, if you like the shirt, you're not gonna find nothing in here. But if you like to go right, I'm gonna give you permission because I knew it could only go downhill from there if I didn't. Because by this time, 3 more sheriffs had come.
Yeah, come to the festivities.
Right. We had a little picnic out there. So you have to remain calm, and if you're scared, that's why you
don't try to get hyped.
Yeah.
It never pays off. Do not try to get as much mouth as I have. I do not like hot lead. So I'm not trying to have a shootout at the OK Corral. And in my case, I tell them, listen, I got a gun. What would you like me to do, sir?
Right.
I have a gun. So I'm gonna let you know where it is. Because if I reach for it and you start shooting, it's gonna be a problem. Right. So, it's scary, man, because you have no guarantees. There are no guarantees that you're gonna go home that night because you did the right thing. But do the right thing. Maybe 7 times out of 10, you'll go home that night. Man.
Yeah. So please take this story to heart. And we're praying for the family of Taniya Young there in Cleveland, Ohio. And we're hoping that this does not turn into another, there she is, beautiful young lady, that this not turn into another situation where we're burning down bars and turning over cars and setting fires and slashing tires. Everybody remain calm, and let's hope that the system will work.
And she had 2 little boys, and this was her little girl she was having. That's so sad.
Ladies and gentlemen, it is. Our thoughts and prayers go out to them. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to share something with you real quick. We have a new sponsor, and we're so excited. Woo!
Yes! I cannot wait for mine to come in. Yes, made by Heaven Collection.
Yeah, this is hot right here. It's the baddest thing out there now. It's called SeekJesus.co. Seek Jesus is a Christian company, and they have all kinds of fun, and especially right now because it's starting to get a little cool. They have these Hoodies. Look at these hoodies. All the material is nice. This is with a Made by Heaven connection. You can get them where it says Seek Jesus on the front and then also on the sleeve. And then you also have another one that says Made by Heaven. All right. On the front and then also on the sleeve, on the left-hand sleeve, you have Seek Jesus and their website. Look at all these colors. You have a brown, black, dark green, blue, white. Okay, these are the hoodies. You have cream. Okay, this is what light blue. You got black and navy blue. All kinds. Then we have the t-shirts as well. Look at this. Fear is a liar t-shirt. There you go. Then we have hats.
Even got beanies.
Look at that.
Yes.
Bracelet. And what would Jesus do? Bracelets and we had some tote bags and all kind of bracelets, lion bracelets, all kind of bracelets and everything. Let me tell you something. This is a great way to share your faith without being too pharisaical and too zealous. You say, seek Jesus. You can wear it, be fashionable. For those of you like the RNDiva that love to wear hoodies.
I love me a good old-fashioned hoodie, baby. I love a good hoodie. I'm trying to get every color too. I'm gonna be modeling. Listen, y'all, get this. This is the latest out there. Get it before everybody else does. Right. They'll be great for Christmas. Yep. They'll be great for the RNDiva.
Mm-hmm. That's a hint.
You know what I'm saying? Go on and sit in it and Pastor Robert, what's that link to that?
The link is seekjesus.co. 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 And when you go in there and you put everything in your shopping cart, before you do, put in the discount code RCTV. That's right. SeekJesus.co. Put in the discount code RCTV, and you will get a substantial discount on your order. And that discount helps us here at the RCTV Network and this podcast to do more podcasts and more content creating like we do. So go to seekjesus.co and check out these t-shirts, sweatshirts, hats, bracelets, and everything. Sharing your faith.
Share your faith. And all you folks that are going to church out there, I need y'all to come through. I need y'all to just stand in the paint for this seekjesus.co. Like, y'all need to come and show up and show out for these folks. For real. Yeah, this Made by Heaven collection, I am going to be looking so cute. I'm just telling you.
I'm telling you, it's hot. And I tell you, when we get this, and we're going to wear ours, hoodies, our t-shirts, when we get them right here on Real Talk with the RNDiva and Pastor Robert. RNDiva, how can we get in contact with you if we want to and also if we want to donate to what you're doing?
To donate to the RNDiva, my Cash App is $RNDiva01. Again, that's $RNDiva01. And my Venmo is at Shonda.BLATCH. It's at Shonda, CHANDA, no R, -Blatch. And my email is therNdiva@gmail.com. Send me questions, concerns, topics. If you want to know where I got my wig, go and put it in the email and see if I let you know. I might tell you, I may not tell you, but you know what I'm saying? I'm trying to get everybody here to look cute. I'm saying, okay.
Oh, y'all, for those of you listening on Apple, Google, Amazon, and Spotify, it is very nice. She has all that. Yes. Go on, girl. You gone, girl. Thank you so much. And also, if you would like to donate to the Real Talk with the RNDiva and Pastor Robert, you can donate to us if you have Cash App, $RCTV Networks with an S, or also a $RNDiva1. And if you have PayPal, you can donate at the RCTV Network and also on Venmo at the RCTV Network. And for those of you who have cryptocurrency, Bitcoin, Ethereum, Litecoin, Dogecoin, any of those, you can hit my wallet up at Rob Carpenter II. At Rob Carpenter II. Again, we're thankful for our sponsors, MammonNation.com, SquaredAway.life, by My Page Supply, and our latest sponsor, SeekJesus.co. Don't forget your discount code, RCTV Network. All of that helps us do what we're doing here to come to you every week. And again, we just thankful for our new listeners on Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, Amazon Music Podcasts, and Spotify. And also, those of you listening to us on iHeartRadio, give us some likes, give us some rating, share this podcast with us, and we're going to have some fun. And we're going to let you know that every time we'll be here each week, right here on the RCTV Network. Diva, is there anything else before we go today?
Are we going to talk about our little festival?
Yes, October 7th. October 7th. Put it down in your calendar. Come to the beautiful seaside town of Port Salerno, Florida, for the Bahamian Festival. Oh, it's going to be a wonderful time, It's going to be a Junkanoo band. There's also going to be food like you've never seen or tasted before. Bring your money, bring your belly.
Listen, you are going to eat your face off. There's going to be so much going on out there. And you know what? It's just some good old island people. Y'all going to come meet some of the nicest people you ever met in your life. And you're going to get your food on. Your foodies, come through. Come through to the Bahamian Festival 2023 in Port Salerno, Florida.
Port Salerno, Florida. That starts at 10 a.m. The parade starts. It goes till 7 p.m. That's a Saturday. I was in Port Salerno, and I rode by the park yesterday, and I was just sitting there looking like, oh, I can't wait. We're going to be streaming live there.
Yes, we are.
In Port Salerno, Florida. We're going to have our booth there. So come on by and see us. We'll interview you and everything. And we really want to talk to some of the old patriarchs and matriarchs of the community that are still around and get their stories and talk to them. But it's going to be a fun time. The Diva will be there, still being cool, even though it's going to be, maybe it'll be a little cooler since it's October.
It's going to be cool because I'm going to have me a fan.
And we're going to have, you may have your Seek Jesus sweatshirt and hoodie on.
I may. I hope
it's
cool enough.
She'll be out there passing out. Is she really gonna need to see Jesus?
Am I cute though? Am I cute passing out though?
Yeah, you get cute passing out. One thing I'm gonna tell y'all a story about when I passed out of church and it wasn't the Spirit. But anyway, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for listening and watching The Real Talk with Pastor Robert and the RNDiva. Until next time, we'll see you. Peace out.